Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Feller.
Dr. Blake Bloxham.
And we're here to caution you about megasession FUE cases. Now, I have been trying to warn everybody about the dangers of FUE megasessions for years, at least since 2002, 2003. I have been reading Real Self, which is an internet website dedicated to plastic surgery, and I am finding that on a regular basis there are people complaining about the megasession FUE procedures that they've been getting. And I want to show you just in what we pulled up just in the past few days from a site called Real Self. Here's the first one. Is my hair will grow back? Obviously, English is the second language. What he's saying is, will my hair grow back in the donor area? I had 4,000 FUE grafts 45 days ago. So that's one patient complaining. Here's another one. Some parts of donor hair is not grown properly. Is that normal? Here's another one. I feel my FUE donor area has been over-harvested. What can I do to repair it? Let's go to a fourth one. Was my donor area over-harvested? I'm 30 years old. You're beginning to see a pattern here?
A little bit, no pun intended.
Okay. There's a fifth one. Looks of donor area. Is it normal? Will it recover at all? Here's a sixth one. Donor area still itching with a lot of red spots 6 weeks after transplant. Is this normal? Let's look at even a seventh one. I went to Turkey 6 weeks ago and had my hair transplant. They extracted 5,000 hairs. Is my hair over-harvested? And there's that same question again. Was I over-harvested? Was I over-harvested? Listen, folks, if you're getting a megasession FUE, then you are by definition being over-harvested.
Agreed.
There are no exceptions. No exceptions at all. Now let's go into this last one here because it's particularly egregious, and I would like to say it's a rare occurrence, but this is a very common occurrence when it comes to getting FUE procedures. So he was told he got 5,000 hairs or 5,000 grafts. He's not being clear, but it looks like 5,000
It looks
grafts.
like, yeah.
And you can see clearly that this area here, down to this area here, is scarred up, distorted, and injured. This is clearly not somebody you would stand behind online at a movie theater and not stare at. You would look at this and say, there's something wrong here. Something happened here. Now, the proponents of FUE and the doctors who are performing them claim that when you do an FUE, there's no evidence. It's even been called a scar-free surgery, if you could believe that. Well, it's going to be very hard to convince this man that what he has in the back of his head was a scar-free surgery.
Yeah.
What you're really looking at, folks, is an area that is so injured by multiple extractions due to FUE that the skin is now all mottled and distorted. And you can see clearly this delineation here that on this side of the line where the remnants of his hair is will never look the same as on the other side of the line.
Yeah, even if that bounces back a little bit, it's clearly been over-harvested. There's clearly been so much scarring created on the skin, under the skin, and there's so much compromise of the vasculature there that it will never bounce back to the point where it will be a scarless procedure. You won't be able to tell there was something done there. He's always going to have this noticeable patchy thinning in the back.
Right. If he had gone for a follicular unit transplant, he would have had a very thin scar running along the back, and he would have had more than enough hair above it and below it, because that skin wasn't touched, to cover the scar so that he could have the best of both worlds. He would have hair growing in the front, and he would have plenty of hair in the back to cover the very little tiny scar he would have had. I'm sure that he was told that getting FUE, he could always shave his head. I don't think he believes this now, and don't you believe it, because it is simply not true. Do not submit yourself to these megasession FUE cases. I've been performing hair transplants for 23 years. I've been performing FUE procedures since their introduction into North America in 2002, and can tell you with authority that this procedure does not live up to the hype that you're reading about online. Believe me, if there was a way to do a procedure that would not leave a patient with any kind of scar or put them in a position where they could shave their heads entirely, I would do it. But that procedure doesn't exist today. But it seems that on Real Self now, more and more people are coming out of the woodwork to get help, to see if they can now fix this damage from the follicular unit extraction. And by the way, they can't.
No.
Once that area has been injured to that extent, there's nowhere else to take hair to put in there and cover it. Even if he grows the hair from top as far as he could down here and combs it down, it's never going
Yeah,
to
he'll never be able
successfully
to cover
cover the
that, no.
wound. If he did it, even a bad strip surgery, a bad FUT surgery, he'd still have plenty of hair.
Yeah,
to
the
cover
worst,
it
he could
up.
have the worst strip scar in the world
Yeah.
and that, and because there's so much untouched hair above it, you could just grow it out any reasonable length at all and it would be covered just fine. There's nothing he could do to cover that.
Would you ever perform this procedure on another human being?
Absolutely not. No, I would have happily done a 4,000 graft FUT on him, but
Yes.
4,000 FUE, absolutely not.
Me too. Be careful, folks. Avoid the FUE mega sessions. Avoid any FUE session above 1,500 grafts in general. Even I would advocate even smaller procedures. If that's what it takes. If 1,000 grafts will make you happy, then look for FUE. But if it looks like you're going to need more than that over your lifetime, just stay away from this procedure like the plague. I can't warn you more strongly. And I'm sure these 7 people wish they had heard this and were in a position to heed that warning, because now there's no way out of the cave for them. Don't go down the same rabbit hole. I'm Dr. Alan Feller.
Dr. Blake Bloxham.
See you in the next video. Man, look at that.